the calendar switches over to September, I get just, I don't know, mentally I get better, because that means I know summer's behind me and all that hot weather. And most people don't like cold weather. I like the fall and winter. It's always been my favorite seasons of the year. I just think,
I like fall and spring.
yeah. Yeah, like I said, we had a day, it was like 75 and sunny. It's that perfect day. As I said, if I was in the shadows, I was a little bit cool, but if I get in the sun, I can get hot if I was doing something. So, but yeah, look, when September gets here, and then, especially when the fall starts when the leaves start changing, I think it's just a little subtle reminders of God's creation and His sovereignty and everything. Just it always gets me thinking, how, such, just overwhelming design of what we have here on earth. And then just, I like to think He puts these little subtle things in there for us,
Yeah.
to enjoy His creation. I think
Instead of one season all the
Yeah.
time.
the fall,
What if you had summer all the time? Everywhere in the world, it was like that all the time.
it's,
People
I
would
joke
just-
around. That right there. If you think summer's hot,
It'd be a lazy places, 'cause nobody don't do nothing.
it'd be crazy.
We starve because in spring you got to get food going.
Yeah, you gotta get crops going. So, in the introduction right there, if you look, we have sports, movie, and history. It almost sounds like we're about to play Jeopardy, So I've got some categories there. Now, my wife, like I said, her procedure went well. She'll be here for the worship service. I guess, one of the many things I do that bothers her, but I could sit and watch old ball games replayed over on YouTube. I can watch. There are movies I can watch, and I can quote them right there, and I'll quote it on purpose just to aggravate her. And of course, we got history. Now, the thing about that, does there anybody else watch a movie more than once?
Oh, I've seen Gone with the Wind several times and read the book
Oh,
several
yeah.
times.
So we all have our favorites, and we'll watch them over and over. And I bet you probably the first few times as you watch it, like when you went the first time, you probably saw that at the theater. I guess. Is that
Oh,
correct?
yes, Gone with the
Because
Wind.
that was, because it was like one of the first really big events, and it was.
Well,
Or am I thinking about Wizard of Oz? Which one was one of the first ones to have color? Was that,
Well,
or is that a different version?
yeah,
I'm thinking
no,
Clark
they were
Gable's
both-
version.
Yeah, they were both, this was Gone with the Wind was in color. It was done in 1939, but I saw it at the theater,
It was done-
I guess, in 59, I think. 60, early
Okay.
60s is when the first album
I didn't
came out.
realize it was 39. I always had that because I pictured the bit, it's like Jimmy had Bonanza on the other day or something, and it's just, the way it looked on TV, that's kind of, so I just always assumed Gone with the Wind was something from the 50s.
No, it was 1939, Clark
So
Gable.
it was right around time Wizard of Oz and all that. Wow. That was
Yeah.
kind of groundbreaking technology, but yeah.
And
but-
it was, it was the longest movie made during that time, and it had an intermission, because I remember I was not old enough to date, so I went with my cousin and her boyfriend to Sullivan to the theater to
Yeah,
see
saw it
it.
there.
And at the intermission, I thought that was the end of it, and I thought, well, that ended strange. They should have done, but I was just
He's overwhelmed.
engrossed in it.
Now-
I mean, I was impressed. I read the book.
Yeah. And that was the thing that first, just the overwhelming of the
Oh, yeah,
production.
it was.
But I bet you every time you go back, you picked up details of the things that
Oh,
happen in
yeah.
it that you don't. I do that in movies all the time. Oh, I never noticed that. Like, I was watching this, I was watching Ocean's 11, 12, and 13 with George Clooney in it. And it's like, especially the second one, Ocean's 12, there's, that's a big movie about deception, misdirection. You have to, the first time you watch it. And then once I kind of knew the story, I started watching people's reactions like, he'd say, one of the characters say something, show somebody else. And then now I realize, oh yeah, he's later involved in that, so they're cluing you in. So you pick up on things, and same way with sports. You know, like history, for example, you know, things where we know the outcome. I can remember going to, you know, speaking of movie theaters, going to the theaters to watch Saving Private Ryan. I had to sit there for a minute and wonder, we did get on the beach at Omaha, correct? Because, I mean, it was just so intense, and just, you know, they said that there were veterans that went to see that actually had PTSD because of their experiences there. So I recall there, you know, hey, but you know, things in history now that we know as we watch, you know, things that led up to different events, you know, where we know the outcomes. And that's kind of a theme here I want us to keep in mind as we go through Daniel's vision today. And I'm going to ask for you guys' help, so if we get some people to, you know, read some of the verses. So kind of as we get here, just kind of the background. Been taking it, really slowing it down. You know, Daniel's first vision right here is kind of what we've looked at. We're still looking at the this is really where Daniel gets the vision interpreted for him right here. And there's some things there that I think, you know, as we look at it,